the first time I remember having anything to do with the Jackson family was, I was very small, very young.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at their home on Fairmount Avenue, which I can never understand is not known as the Robert H. Jackson home. It's a beautiful home. And it just seems to me that that should somehow be memorialized. And I don't remember much about it because I was extremely young. But being there, I think we were there and had dinner with them. And I remember going out in the backyard, and it seemed big and beautiful and all to a small child.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first recollection of Jackson. Although I'd heard my father and mother speak of Bob and Irene Jackson and so on and so forth, and of course I got older, I knew he was a real good lawyer in town.
Mm-hmm.
And but I personally didn't have any contact with him. But when I was 5 years old, I should say that was the next personal contact with him. When I was 5 years old, before I was 5, I was real sick, and I don't know whether I had pneumonia or what I had, but as a 4-year-old, and the doctor finally told my folks that he thought the best thing to do would be to get me down south somewhere where there was some warm weather and I would get over whatever I had very quickly. So we went to Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we took a train to New York City where my folks had a couple of friends of theirs, and our host there, where we had dinner that night, and I think we spent the night there and then took a boat the next day. And we had dinner, and that was my birthday. And that was my 5th birthday. And I'll never forget the chicken dinner we had at their home. It was terrific. And Mr. Lockwood, Clark Lockwood was his name. His father was a very well-known, able lawyer in Jamestown years before. And then we went to Puerto Rico, and we got down there, and Bob and Irene Jackson were also in Puerto Rico. Now, I don't know if they knew it in advance, either the Jacksons or us, but during the time we were in Puerto Rico, I did quickly get well and ran around. In fact, on the boat down there, I was supposed to take it easy and not go up and down the stairs, but everyone else in the family got sick, and I was getting better, so I would go up the stairs on the boat and then slide down the rail. And I remember that. We got down there, and I remember this particular occasion. I guess I told you about it. When the Jacksons and Booteys, and I was the only kid that was there, were down on the ocean, but nobody had bathing suits on. I don't know what we were doing down there, but anyway, my dad or mother had a camera, and so they thought it'd be nice to have a picture of the 4 of them. And I said, let me take the picture. I'd never taken the picture. And my dad said, you think you can? I said, sure. And he gave me the camera, and he said, now, be sure and get it centered and hold it very steady and so on. And when you get everything just right, push down here. So I said, okay. So the Jacksons and the Booteys stood up there, the 4 of them, and I got it all lined up, and I pushed down, and my dad, oh, Bob, he said, you had your finger over the lens. I said, no, I didn't. He says, yes, you did. He said, take another one and make sure you don't have it, your finger over it. And instead of advancing the thing, he said, you had your finger over, so just go ahead and take another right there. So I did. And then they said, I think that was all right, but if there's any question in your mind, let's take a 3rd one. So I took a 3rd one. And the first 2, the first one was a double exposure. So it was like this, you know. The 3rd one was all right.
Yeah.
Now, I never threw away that double exposure, and I would have given anything if I could find that.
Yeah.
This morning, my wife was looking again for it, and she found a couple of interesting letters that I have with me, but she didn't find that picture. But I
Bob Bootey may have not found the pictures of which he took, but here are some pictures that were taken of him in Puerto Rico. Here's a picture of young Bob Bootey together with Robert Jackson in Puerto Rico. Another picture of Robert Jackson together with young Bob Bootey. Of Irene and Robert Jackson together with Robert Bootey's brother, John.
Sandra Day O'Connor was here for the dedication of the statue. I went up and talked to her, and I told her about the picture taking and so on, and she got a big kick out of that.